Oh, hello. Welcome back. My name is Alyssa. And if you're new here, we talk about all things climate, sustainability, conscious consumption, thrifting, community. So if that sounds like things you are interested in, I hope you join us and subscribe. It's completely free and your support helps me to keep making content for free as well. If you didn't already know, this account is called New Lifestyle because it originally started as a college project where I was documenting my new lifestyle of trying to make it more sustainable, more better for the planet. And we are 5 years in, so let's talk about 10 things that make my more sustainable life easier. Number one is refillable products. Now I know sometimes the idea of refillable products actually sounds like a pain. You either have to prep all your jars and take them to a refill shop, or they're brands that like exclusively sell their products online because a lot of big box stores don't have a ton of true sustainable brands. But specifically when I talk about household products and cleaners, that for me is when having refillable products really makes a difference. Because typically whenever I buy these reusable products, they're in bulk. So not only is it cheaper, but it lasts so long. Like it is very rare for me to run out of hand soap or run out of dish soap because I know I have a giant container of it that I can just keep refilling. Same thing with the cleaners. The cleaners are actually really great too because they're typically concentrates that I purchase. If I think of brands like Grove Collaborative or Blue Land, they sell their cleaners in these really nice concentrates, little tablets or little bottles, and I can have like a little stockpile of 3 of them, and that's like 3 of my cleaners because I'm mixing it with water myself to make the full bottle. Number 2 is having my reusables most accessible to me. Okay, have you guys heard of desire paths? It's basically if you, for example, take like a field of grass and you want to put sidewalks there, but you don't know exactly where. So you see where people's feet naturally make paths. It shows you where people naturally desire to go. And then ideally you would build the sidewalks according to those desire paths. Well, a few years ago, I saw somebody on TikTok say you basically need to make desire paths in your home. I thought that was so genius. It literally changed the way I think about cleaning and organizing. Like for example, I always realized that our hats were always left downstairs and I would always be dragging them upstairs and I would procrastinate on it. So we would just have like our hats all over the place. So instead, more recently, I was like, you know what? If we want to have our hats downstairs, why can't we have our hats downstairs? So I ended up purchasing like a wall basket that's big enough for our hats and we just toss them in there. It's so much easier and now the house actually stays a little bit cleaner. So you can kind of do that in the home and therefore you can do that with your reusable products. So for me, I'm more likely to reach down and grab something than reach up and grab something in my kitchen. So because of that, I keep my paper towels kind of like in this higher up side cabinet area that's really difficult to reach. It's kind of a pain to get out the paper towels. I have to really want them. And then I keep all my reusable cleaning rags right under the sink along with a little laundry basket to throw them in too. And so since I know I naturally would rather go down and pick something up than up and pick something up, I'm more likely to reach for my reusables. Number 3 is a good quality water bottle or tumbler that you love using. Notice how I didn't say buy this trending water bottle or the best water bottle as recommended by influencers. The one that you really like, whether that's simply identifying the one in your pile that you like the most and kind of eliminating the excess that you don't use, or whether that means hitting the thrift stores and finding one that really speaks to you somehow. Okay, it has to be practical to you. If you're really outdoorsy, you go on a lot of hikes, a Stanley with an open lid like that is not going to be the best. Or if you tend to take your water bottle on your bike or whatever, you know, some of these trendy tumblers might not be the one for you. You need to find one that naturally fits your lifestyle that you actually like using so that you refill it, stay hydrated, and can avoid not only plastic bottles for water, but other drinks that are packaged in plastic as well, because you should probably be drinking more water anyways. Number 4, favoriting things on Facebook Marketplace. When I have talked to friends or family members about how my entire home is on Facebook Marketplace, they get so confused because they're like, when I go on Facebook Marketplace, I just see a bunch of crap or a bunch of shops, like people selling things almost like it's a business rather than a secondhand item. And the thing is, like everything else online, the Facebook Marketplace algorithm is an algorithm. When you first downloaded TikTok, the For You page was terrible. When you first made a YouTube account, your suggestions were awful. And when you first enter Facebook Marketplace, it's not going to know what you want. So what I recommend doing is searching up a couple couple keywords of your style or things you've been looking for, and just favorite things that look interesting to you. You don't have to buy them. You don't have to message the seller. Just as you see things, and this is a forever thing, as you see things that you think are interesting and you would like to see other things somewhat like it, whether it's the decade of decor or the style or the object itself, save that item, favorite that item so that you get more. Because what I have found is the more I do this, the faster it is at giving me the sellers who are posting things. So a lot of the things I buy, whenever I open the listing, it said it was posted 10 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, 1 hour ago. So I'm getting these things very quickly as they're listed. Therefore, I'm getting the things that are great deals as well. Number 5 is buy nothing groups. The buy nothing project is something where there's typically a Facebook page that correlates with your county or town or neighborhood, and it's somewhere where you can post things for free and get things for free. You can also post in there if you're looking for something specific from a neighbor for free, and sometimes you're able to say, hey, I'm looking for some folding lawn chairs, something that a lot of people have, but maybe not everybody uses. And you'd be surprised how many people are so willing to have you come and pick up their stuff for free. So for that, I absolutely love those groups. Number 6 is garage sales. Okay, you can throw estate sales in there too. Now, I film a lot of my videos at thrift stores and antique stores, but I personally do go to a lot of yard sales because you can get things even cheaper than at thrift stores and the antique stores at those personal one-on-one sales. The reason why I don't film them very often, honestly, it's because it feels weird. I really don't want to go in with my phone and start filming somebody's house, somebody's garage, somebody's estate. It's just uninteresting to me, so I typically film my videos at the thrift store, but I want to let you know you should be going to those things to find secondhand items because how you can find such affordable vintage pieces if you're into that, but also because of the connection that happens at these garage sales. Oh my gosh, like getting to know your neighbors, getting to know people in your community, getting to actually talk to them and listen to them tell you why they love this item. It's just really cool. And then you leave with something at a great price that you really wanted. It felt like a score, plus you have a whole story behind the piece that in my opinion makes me want to keep it for longer. It makes it that much more special. It makes my home have that much more character. Number 7, one of those basic little sewing kits. Let me tell you, when you keep your clothes for a long time, they break. I guarantee it, they will break. There is a lot of fast fashion in this world and it's very poorly made. Plus, mistakes happen. Who knows why something would rip? Those little mending kits, even the cheap ones, and a simple to follow YouTube video are a lifesaver for extending the life of your clothes. Number 8, freezing your food scraps. Now, there's 2 reasons why this could be very helpful. I have a countertop compost bin. That way it's easy, it's accessible. I just throw the scraps in there as I create them. But the freezer method is great because if you have a really small space, a small kitchen, and or you have a compost bin that's been sitting there for a while, throwing it in the freezer can eliminate that smell and that chance for bugs to accumulate. It's never really a problem for me because I have a compost tumbler to throw it outside in. But if you do composting pickup and you have to wait for a certain amount of time before they'll come get your compost, throwing it in the freezer is a great way to eliminate any of those smell or bug problems. If you don't have a composter and you have not yet started composting, you can also be saving those food scraps in the freezer to create your own DIY vegetable broth with. Honestly, the freezer as a whole could be a whole nother hack, just freezing your food that's about to go bad. But specifically, I wanted to include to freeze your food scraps. Number 9, unsubscribing from marketing emails and text messages from brands I enjoy. That may sound counterproductive, and I don't follow this rule 100% of the time. The exception for this rule is when I know I'm going to purchase something and I'm going to need the item, I keep on their marketing email so I can be notified of sales. But once I get the item, or if it's just like something I like a clothing brand or a makeup brand where I'm always going to be tempted to buy more, when I purchase something and they put me on their marketing emails, I unsubscribe so fast because I will be tempted. I will want to buy just because there's a sale. I will want to buy because there's a new product drop. Okay, just because I talk about conscious consumption doesn't mean I don't get tempted. Are you kidding me? Of course I do. Of course I want these products. That's why I try to make it more unavailable to me because I don't need them. Not only because they'll clutter up my life, but it drains my wallet. You could also include unfollowing them on social media if you feel like that affects your purchasing decisions too. And number 10, the 1 in, 1 out rule. So I don't necessarily do this with clothes, but that's because I've kind of kicked a lot of my clothes shopping addiction problems. But I do, well, I guess this is kind of clothing. I do it with with shoes, and I also do it with like skincare and makeup. So whenever I was in high school and early college, I loved makeup. Actually, I don't even know if I loved makeup. I honestly did like the same makeup look every day, but I used different palettes. And because of that era in my life, I just simply have a lot. And skincare, that stuff expires and you can only go through it so quickly. So for makeup and skincare, I have to finish something to add something. For the most part, sometimes things expire. And then same thing with my shoes. So something else I like to do to control of how much of something I have is set a designated amount of space for it. So you kind of naturally do this with, say, your closet. You know, if your closet is literally overflowing, you might have to get rid of some things before you could ever think to buy something new. Well, I decided to do the same thing with my shoes. I kind of had this really big space for my shoes and I found myself thrifting a lot, which I don't even know why. Like I wear the same few shoes every single week. So what I did is I got a shoe rack that perfectly fits all of my shoes and Jacob's shoes. And I kind of said, this is my shoe rack. If something doesn't fit on the shoe rack, something has to get off the shoe rack to make room for it. And this does not just mean I'm constantly donating and buying new shoes. It's instead supposed to bring me contentment by saying, okay, my shoe space is full. I have enough shoes. But that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed watching it because I enjoyed making it. Again, if you like this video, you want to see more things about sustainability on your feed, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Okay, love you. Bye.